Hello, this is my hands-on of the Nintendo 3DS. It's kind of a hands-on and it's kind of a review. So, yeah, this is the box that it came in early. Information around the side. On the top it just says Cosmos Black, just a simple with the barcode. And on the back it gives details of what's inside. And it says that there is a 3DS inside, ×1, a charging cradle, ×1, an AC adapter, ×1, a stylus, ×1, a 2GB SD card, which is pretty good, the fact that an SD card is included, and 6 augmented reality cards. It also includes numerous manuals, and not very much packaging, which I was very pleased to see. It's nice and simple, and if you've watched my unboxing you'll see what the packaging is like. Right, so that's the box. Now, as this is a hands-on review of the Nintendo 3DS, I'm not going to waste any time in getting to the featured article, the Nintendo 3DS in its charging cradle. I've had a bit of time to play around with the Nintendo 3DS now, and I must say, it is a very good piece of equipment. It's sleek, it's nice to hold, and above all, the 3D effect is brilliant, because it's not like if you ever had the sort of blue and red glasses where everything goes oh, and your whole vision sort of goes cross-eyed and everything. It's a nice subtle 3D effect, and if you can get the sweet spot right, which is very easy, it looks so nice because it's not in your face, it's subtle, and it uses it very well in the built-in games, such as augmented reality, face raiders, etc. So, let's look at the 3DS. Right, so, first off, try not to get too many reflections. When you put it in its 3D charging cable, it slots in place nicely with this, which then slots out these two metal connections, which give it its charge. Anyway, charging cradle aside, because that's pretty standard, basic, obvious. Right, Nintendo 3DS. Here we go. Right, let me just position my camera effectively. Okay, so, here we are. The outside is, well, this is the Cosmos Black. The aqua blue is very nice on the outside. Personally, I don't like the inside colour type blue because it's just sort of too bright. Anyway, 2 outer cameras, subtle and not obvious like the DSi's huge black dot on the outside, and this little red light here indicates when you're using the cameras. On top of the console, you have your charge here and your shoulder buttons, which are clicky and good, well responsive. I haven't got any games yet, but that is your 3DS and DS card slot. Now this stylus here, many people are saying, ugh, why is it there? But I have to say, it's not too much of a problem, because when you're holding your DS, if this is my right hand, but it's not, if this is my left hand, but it's not, it's my right hand, because if I'm actually playing it, I'll be using my left hand on this side. But I just use my fingernail to get in there, because it's been nicely designed just under there, so that you can get your fingernail in and literally just slot it out while playing, and then you can just bring it up and take it out like that. The stylus itself is nice, and I prefer it when it's not extended, because it's got a bit of weight to it and it doesn't feel like a stylus, it feels more like a touch pen. When it is extended, it's about 2.5 inches, I'd say, about 3 inches maybe. That's about its full extension. Here it's got a little lock for it, and the touchscreen is nice with it as well. Touchscreen is very responsive. Now, I finally get round to the actual 3DS itself, after getting the 3.5mm jack there, power light, the wireless on and off, which is a pull and let go. Now, volume is over this side with a slider instead of buttons like the DSi. here is your SD card slot containing your 2GB SD card. And the underside is just the underside. Right. Opening it up. Very nice piece of handiwork here by Nintendo. Gotta hand it to them that they've done a very good job on aesthetics, etc. Now, the 3D slider is a lot smaller than I expected it to be, because all the images show it as a massive on the side, a massive sort of... I almost thought it was a piece of big silver plastic which would go, you know, up and down. But it's not. It's a nice little piece of metal, and it's little, and it's not in the way, and it's very nice, and it's smooth to operate. Speakers are good. Top screen is obviously a lot larger than the bottom screen. The inner camera is good as well. It has face recognition, or a bit of it. Right. Main addition, other than 3D of course. This analog slide pad. It's nice and textured. I'm not sure if you can pick up the fact that it's not really reflecting the light there, so it's nice and textured, so your thumb's not going to go whee when you're trying to move it. It sort of stays on, and it has a nice sort of response to it as well. It doesn't feel like you're just sort of slipping it around everywhere. The D-pad consequently has been moved down, and it's not too awkward actually. It is sort of different, but once you get used to it, it's not that different. Maybe getting to the bottom D-pad, if you're sort of converting between the two, is a bit awkward, and sort of locating yourself on it can sometimes be a bit of a pain. But because you can use this instead of the D-pad most times, you don't really need to use the D-pad unless that's a sort of retro gamer type thing, at which point you sort of hold your DS like this, with this hand slightly further down. Select home and start buttons are nice and flush with this sort of raised platform area for the touchscreen here. This is the power button. If you click the power button, you get sleep mode or power off mode, which is good. These buttons here are also clicky and nicely responsive. Now, turning the system on, blue light appears with the 3D down, of course. Right, I've been having a bit of fun with the augmented reality games, which are very good. If you look to the bottom of your screen, you'll see the menu sliding across, and I'm using a slider here. If I go to the far end, you get your health and safety information. If I go in, you get your game card. Next up is the camera, which I haven't used yet, so unfortunately I won't really be able to give you much of a heads up on that one. 3DS sound, very similar, except you can use MP3s with it. The Mii Maker is a lot easier to use, I think, than the Wii, because you don't really need to locate where your pointer is. You can just use the stylus, and the picture sometimes doesn't quite work very well, the sort of face recognition from the inner camera, but then it's just a case of editing, which is very easy. Next up is the Mii Plaza, which I haven't had a look at yet because of course no one else really has a 3DS because mine arrived early, fortunately. Next up, augmented reality games, which I will do a separate video on. Space Raiders, reasonably fun. You can see in the top screen there, my friend from the JTech Reviews YouTube channel, Jamie up there. That's very fun. You end up sort of moving using the gyroscope, and it's very involving and it's very fun as well. Activity log I haven't had a look at, so I will do some things like this in a future. But you see how on the top screen you have these sort of pencil things, and it very cleverly incorporates these sort of items, because if I turn the 3D on you won't really be able to see it very well. But you can see how it's... You might even now be able to see how it's a sort of subtle 3D. It's not a big displacement, it's a nice subtle effect, and when you're actually looking at it from my perspective, it's very nicely done indeed, and it works incredibly well. Of course you are going to lose some of your battery life with the 3D on. Download, play, self-explanatory. once again, a nice effect up here. And then you have your system settings, which are also relatively self-explanatory. I will probably do some other video reviews of each of these in the future, but for now this was more of a sort of hands-on sort of review of the actual system itself. So yes, I hope you enjoyed it, and now I will just show you quickly the power. You can see bottom screen, sleep mode or power off. I often choose power off because I only have one friend online at the moment who I have a friend code with. So yes, thank you for watching, and tune in again soon for more software reviews and hands-on. Thanks, have a nice day.